Rated reaction is for mature audiences only. So if you can't stand the heat, stay away from the fire.
Fellow congregation members of the church, most people do this damn mother as an evil, rotten, decrepit, low-down, despicable, foul-mouthed monster. I realize that monsters like this do not have a place in heaven. And I also realize that hell simply will not have them because they don't want a motherfucker like this trying to take over. Pardon my language. But it must be said.
It's another beautiful day to be a raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield, I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation, and you come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring them.
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the commish, coming to you live, as always, from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. And just where is that, might you ask? Well, in case you're new in town, let me give you some simple directions. It's just down the street, past the house with the boarded up windows. Make sure you stop on the corner and ask my man Joe. He's always on the corner, or at least in the vicinity of the corner. Slip him what you should, he's a man of commerce, he'll point you in the right direction. He's gonna tell you to take a left, and then a right. And as you find yourself strolling down the street, you're gonna pass a deep, dark, creepy alley to your immediate right. As you stroll past it, this cool breeze hits you that chills you right to your skeletal core. Is it the autumn wind? You goddamn right. Should you venture down that deep dark alley? Well, of course you should, because what you're going to find at the end is a special little place that special people like to call deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction, and this is an extra special little Raider Reaction, as I want to come in without a script tonight, basically. An agenda, but no script. Because I want to pull you into the show, and I want to have a more open forum discussion about your true feelings, how you really feel about the relocation, the lawsuits that are flying around. How do you really feel? The team is on the cusp of playing its last game in the Oakland Coliseum. This is a harsh reality that is setting in to multitudes of people across the Raider Nation. It's not something we had planned on this season, knowing it was always an outside possibility that was going to be an outcome on the horizon. That if things, because there was already tension, obviously, as you were already basically divorced, just waiting for the new house to be built before you moved out. So you knew that the tension was already there, and at some point it was going to become much more strained the closer it became. But it was always, I think, in heart's heart, everybody assumed we would play in 2019 in the Coliseum as well. It seemed like the best thing for the fans. They continue to get one more year of rent out of the Raiders. It just seemed all to work. So there's obviously many different schools of thought. As throw it up in the comments, because I do want to get your comments. Dusty says San Diego or Oakland, or I won't renew my tickets and just wait for Vegas. Interesting. See, it's now that you've got this fractured relationship and that the lawsuit is now hit, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting how things shake out for where we end up, because you've heard how many rumors. How many rumors? We've heard Arizona has been on the radar recently. We've heard San Diego. We've heard somewhere in Vegas, although I don't believe any of the facilities are up to the NFL standards of what they would need. The original report said it would take some time for renovations to the current UNLV facility to get it up to speed to be able to host an NFL game, and I believe that starting point has already passed. So I don't think that's a viable option. I've heard as far as San Antonio. I have heard crazy rumors, like somebody had mentioned about St. Louis. I've heard Salt Lake City as well, Dusty. Also heard Salt Lake City, which is an interesting. Now here's my thought on this, because we're going to be a vagrant team basically in 2019, which is a shitty way to put it. Carr does want to go to Fresno. Mauricio, you are correct. Carr is on record as saying, hey, let's play the home games in Fresno. We can stay at the practice facility at, where they're currently at, and everything's good. Which rumor is, and word is basically, they're going to practice. They're not going to move practice facilities. They're going to practice there, and wherever they go for games, they'll travel, wherever the home games may be. That's their practice facility, and then they're going to stay there until they make the move to Vegas, is what I understand. But that obviously all depends on logistics and where they finally end up staying. The Reno Raiders. it'll just be the Raiders wherever we go. It's going to be this 2019 season now has the strange distinction of possibly being that weird bastard season of between homes where we're just kind of this nomadic team without a real home, which is why I would like to see us put in a community like Salt Lake City would be interesting, although I don't know if they, necessarily have the facilities to pull it off, but something like that I think would be interesting because you would be placed in a community that has never had an NFL franchise, so they would embrace it wholeheartedly for the brief period that they would have them, and it would be kind of maybe a cooler period in the legacy and the lore of the Raiders. So it's interesting. It's interesting. So to England, I don't know about that, Raymond. Let's not get carried away. The practice facility did break ground, Matt. Everything is moving on pace as it should at the Vegas site. It's just, it's slated to be done with a construction schedule of June, late July at the original onset. So, I mean, they were already pushing the envelope to make it for 2020. What's up, JD? I've even heard such crazy things as Orlando, which would be absolute insanity to place them all the way on the East Coast. Although they do have the facility here, Camping World Stadium in Orlando is up to NFL standards, as they do play the Pro Bowl there, and they will play it again this season. We will be live on location as well. Raider Reaction at the Pro Bowl again this season. Now, somebody asked, what are they suing for? Well, let me give you verbatim the straight from Barbara J. Parker, Oakland City Attorney. Now, the City Attorney recommended and the Oakland City Council authorizing filing the lawsuit to recover damages resulting from the Raiders' illegal move to Las Vegas, including lost revenue, money that Oakland taxpayers invested in the Raiders, and other costs. In voting to approve the Raiders' move to Las Vegas and boycotting Oakland in the marketplace for hosting a football club, the NFL defendants violated federal antitrust laws. The Raiders' move also violated the NFL's own policy for team relocation. Now, basically what Oakland is trying to say is that they were blacklisted and they were not found to be a proper host city for an NFL team, which that is not the case. Oakland has, they were fine with being a host city if you would have provided an adequate facility for an NFL franchise to play in. The problem is Oakland could not put together and sustain a plan to fulfill that. There was another video that surfaced today from the Forever Oakland group and the 66 Mob that's been floating around, where they're also trying to tag on to the lawsuit now that they're going after the colors and the name again. And now we've got that popping back up again, which that's just absurd. That's just absurd. What's up, William? What's up, Matt? What's up, Jukebox? What's up, Ashley? And thank you all for joining me on a little special edition. And please throw your comments up. I'm going to try to pay a little more attention to the comments, and I want to bring you guys more into the show, as this is a sensitive topic for Raider Nation. Some people grew up down the street in LA when the Raiders were there. Some people grew up down the street in Oakland when the Raiders play there. Some people only see the Raiders typically on road games. So everybody has a different perspective in the Raider Nation, as we're sprinkled all over this great country, this world. We've got Raider Nation in Germany, England, Australia, all over, all points of the planet. It is, we paint the world silver and black. So everybody has a different perspective on this move. I understand for some it hits closer to home than others. I understand that. And you have to, take it, step back and understand that each person's perspective is just a little different. But the thing is, and the point of the matter is, precedent was set when the Raiders left and went to Los Angeles. Precedence was set. How, you ask? Because they were allowed to leave, take the name, the colors, the logo, the shield, everything, and go to LA. They didn't, no big lawsuit to keep it. When precedent was already set. Then promises were made, a fractured relationship was repaired, and the Raiders came back to become the Oakland Raiders again. But the promises were never fulfilled. Still played on the only multi-use stadium. I agree. I've read it. There's nowhere in the actual papers, the legal papers that were signed, that says they're going after the logo and the colors. But you had this video pop up today that which I can only refer to as a press conference, and I will leave it at that because I don't want to be derogatory towards anyone. Like I said, you have to understand everybody's perspective. Everybody loves the Raiders and is a member of the Raider Nation in a different capacity. Everybody loves in a different way. So I don't want to insult somebody who's taking it in a different manner. But I believe that March 27th, 2017. What are we at here? We're at December 17th, 2018. That's like a year and a half later. Listen. I've processed deaths of family members faster than some people have gotten over the freaking team. Leaving the zip code it's currently at. Like, it's a year and a half. Like, process that shit and move the hell on, man. Build a bridge. And get the fuck over it. It's been a year and a half. Seriously. I saw all this stuff last season, and I thought we were over it and past it. But now it's all back up again. Why is it back up again? You know why? 2 games left. That's why it's back up again. Because now we're going to stir the pot again. Get that shit going. We're going to stir the pot again because the offseason is about to come. So now you can now drive this shit to the forefront of the news, and it can now become something. Fear-mongering is right, Dusty. And it's... Everybody hates... Like, William, I agree. And Ashley, for real, they need to process that shit. Who the hell on? Jukebox, you hit it on the head. It's like the Disney song. And I'm not breaking out. I ain't got no chords like that. That'd hurt something. But let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Of course, I think we would all, in our heart's heart, want to see the Oakland Raiders stay in Oakland. They are the Oakland Raiders. That's where they started. That's where they've spent the majority of their time as a franchise. That's where they belong. That's their home. I think we all, as a consensus, can be on the same page there. That yes. What's up, Raymond? Checking in from Raider Nation Memphis. What's up, James? What's up, Byron? What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me. As always, a band of pirates. We appreciate each and every one of you. But it's just... I don't understand what the end game of all this, the lawsuit stuff is coming out of this. I just don't understand what the end game is. What's the best case scenario? Say they won said lawsuit. Say they won. And this small fraction of Raider Nation wins. They get the logo, they get the colors, they get everything. Now, I know I'm living in fantasy world because that ain't ever going to happen, but let's say, for the sake of story, that it does. Let's say that happens. So then now what happens? The team's still going to Vegas. There's a stadium there. Hey, I don't know if you happen to hear, but the NFL already said they're hosting the draft there in 2020. So that's basically the wedding ceremony of bringing a new franchise there and saying the NFL is, I'm all on it. I'm all on it. So that's basically what they're saying. That's like the wedding ceremony. Like the Roger Goodell's going to go up there. He's going to hand a ring to frickin' Mark Davis. It's, you know, that's basically what's going on there. So the best case scenario is, say that little fraction wins, they keep everything, the team's still going. Derek Carr, Garyon Conley, Jordy Nelson, Jared Cook, everybody's going. They're going and leaving. So now what? Now what are you going to have? You're going to have a section of Raider Nation that's going to follow that team regardless because that's the team they've grown up with. Those are the players that they know. And you're going to have this other fraction that now owns the name, the brand, and the colors. Yeah. So then what do you have? And that's the best case scenario for that. Which, the whole thing's fantasy world because it's never going to happen anyway. They don't own a right to the name. They don't own a right to the colors. Like Williams said, it's all Davis family and Al Davis Foundation, man. It's silly. And the precedent has already been set because they allowed them to go to Los Angeles already. And if you watch the video that was floating around earlier, there was a lot of precedent was made by St. Louis. Precedent was made by the Browns. The Browns is a whole different situation. They didn't want, the leaving ownership that was leaving Cleveland didn't want to take the Browns name with them. They wanted to leave that shit in Cleveland like, psh, I don't want to be a Brown. Keep that shit. Keep your history of losing. Stay on the goddamn kiddie table and stay the hell in Cleveland. They didn't want it. They wanted to leave. They wanted a new identity. So totally different. They wanted to go. They wanted to start a whole new identity and be a whole new team. They didn't want nothing to do with the Browns. So it was easy to give the Browns back. Give the Browns back. So, yes, they can do like Cleveland and sit there and wait for a team. But guess what? Oakland, if you happen to get a team back, and when are you going to build that stadium for this team that you've waited, that you're losing and that you weren't able to pull off in how many decades? When? When are you going to build this stadium that's going to bring this new franchise back to replace the one that you're losing? Because little birdie told me you guys are on the verge of possibly, Golden State not staying put. You're going to end up with the A's on that site, and that's going to be it. You basically catered to the A's anyway, and the Raiders, they were the step kid in the whole situation. It is what it is. And like I said, man, build a bridge and get over that shit. It's been a long time now. It's been a year and a half. You need to get over it. I can't believe it's all popping back up again. The Oakland lawsuit is pretty much just a money grab. They're going after compensation and damages and liable and blah. It's a money grab. Hopefully to help offset costs. Hey, there is some bookkeeping that needs to be cleaned up, I believe, between Oakland and the Raiders. I think there's some back money. There's, parking fees and back rent and what have you. Now, they should clean. I agree that should all be cleaned up when it's time to leave, man. This should be a sit down and be like, all right, I know you're suing my ass, but I at least want to pay my bills. And so that should happen on the way out the door. And then you can leave and be like, see ya! And, have a clean conscience and be gone. Off to your palace in the desert. Now, we ran a quick little, very unscientific poll earlier. Fresno State. Well, JD, you would be in agreement with Derek Carr. That's where Derek Carr's wanting to go. That's where Derek Carr's wanting to go. He would like to see him play in Fresno. Now, I'll tell you what, man. That would guaranteedly hype up that our quarterback to definitely want to perform for that one season in something like that. That would be insane. You got so many options, Mario. Really, when you think about it, Mario throws the Rose Bowl up there. You got so many options when you think about it. All up and down the West Coast, you've got major collegiate programs that could house an NFL game on Sundays. Currently, where I live, there's a major collegiate program that shares the facility with the NFL team as well. So, I mean, it is a doable thing. They do it across the country. They're going to do it in Oakland. They're going to be sharing with UNLV. So, not in Oakland, in Las Vegas when the Raiders are there. But, the main thing is nothing's ever really going to change because when they were in Oakland, the logo still said the same thing. When they were in LA, the logo still said the same thing. When they went back, it still said the same thing. And guess what? When they go to Vegas, it's still going to say the same thing. It's going to say Raiders. So, just refer to them as the Raiders. If it pulls at your heartstrings to throw whatever city it happens to be in there. But what are your true feelings? What are your true feelings, Raider Nation? Rose Bowl doesn't want to deal with the NFL at all. Interesting. Exactly, Dale. Who says they will be offered a team after they sue? But yeah, you're basically, taking a very hard stance against somebody that you're trying to work with in the future. That's a very good point. You come at them hard, and they're going to be like, you know what, buddy? Hey, there's plenty of other cities in the big old great United States of America that like to have an NFL franchise, and you can go to the back of the fucking line, Oakland. Those that couldn't get a stadium done. I mean, realistically, what is the timeline for Oakland to be able to put a stadium there? Starting from right now. You got nothing in place. You got no plans for anything. You don't have the land secured. You don't have anything designed. You've got nothing started. So what are you looking at? 5 years? Best case scenario? Before you had an up and running NFL facility? 2 years? No way, Mario. No way. Look at what they're doing right now. They couldn't even do that in 2. And that was with plans and everything hitting from the ground up. Was it a 30-month build? And that's a very aggressive build for they said was a very aggressive build. And it was the same company that had built several other along that line. And it was along the lines of what the Falcons was as well. It's like around a 30-month build is about, and that's freaking pushing it. So you're talking about not even in design phase yet. So I'm saying 5 years. That's best case scenario. 5 years, best case scenario. And I would say you're more probably to the 5 to 7 range. So, do you think in any way in hell that the NFL is going to allow the Oakland Raiders logo, the identity, the silver and black, the black hole, the Gorilla Rilla, the Violator, the super fans, everything that goes with the Raiders. If you think that they are going to allow that image to be taken and given to a city for 5 to 7 years to fucking sit on it and shelf it while they get their act together, you are goddamn insane. They're never going to let that happen. They're going to fight tooth and nail to get the Raiders in Vegas, because 2020, they're going to unveil that big, beautiful fucking diamond in the desert. They're going to have the NFL draft there. They're going to parade everybody through that son of a bitch at the draft. And look at our beautiful new stadium in our beautiful new market. And bam! Roger Goodell and Mark Davis hold hands and say, I fucking do. And there we go. Away begins the Vegas Raider era. Like it, love it, or leave it. That's what's going to happen in 2020. And get on board with it, because that's where it's going. There's no stopping it. There's no way the NFL is not going to allow it to happen. No way. No way. They will lean on whoever the hell they need to lean on to make this happen. Oakland ain't got the firepower to fight who they're getting ready to fight. They're quite frankly, they're getting ready to spend taxpayers' money that they can't afford to spend. I was all in a while ago. I want my new stadium. I'm sick of watching my team play on dirt. I'm over it. I want to see the team that I love, the team that I follow, the team that I represent play in a state-of-the-art facility like they belong. I'm sorry that we couldn't get it done in Oakland. But goddamn it, we deserve to play in a state-of-the-art facility. The Atlanta Falcons get a state-of-the-art facility as they sit firmly planted on the kiddie table. You know, we need a state-of-the-art facility. These other teams that do not have the lore, the greatness, the history of the Raiders, we deserve it. What's up, T-Courts? We deserve it. What's up, Davey? The Vikings even got one. Their fucking bird-killing ass stadium. They even got one. Yeah, I got all hush-hush. I wonder if they ever actually fixed that. Because when that stadium opened, it was a design error. The type of glass that they put all up on the sides of that, the birds couldn't see it. So it was killing, like, birds by the dozens daily. They were flying in that glass and they were killing them, and PETA was all over their ass. I wonder if they ever fixed that. Or if they just brushed it under the table. That's right, Ashley. We do deserve it. It's a new era. You can't look at it as a death. I don't look at it as a death. I look at it as a new beginning. A new era in Raider Nation. See, the age that I am, I'm the ripe age of 43. So I don't really remember the first stint of the Raiders in Oakland. I mean, I remember it. That was the history that I learned, and I embraced it as I became a young Raider fan. But the Raiders I remember were the Los Angeles Raiders. Bo Jackson, Mark Sallin, Howie Long, Jim Plunkett, Tim Brown. So on, so on, so on. Until they can, come back to Oakland. But as I was growing up, all until a couple years after I graduated high school, they went back to Oakland. So, to me, I've seen the Raiders morph. I've seen them basically my whole life. To me, they were the LA Raiders. And I've seen them go back to Oakland and become the Oakland Raiders. And to me, it's just another step in the lineage, the history of this team. It's The logo, the mascot, it's a pirate. We pillage, we plunder, we take what we want. You keep moving. You go where the treasure is. The treasure happens to be in the desert now. That's just where we have to go. It's the next step. It's the next step. It didn't have to get to this point, but the reality of the matter is it got to this point. Got to this point. I agree, James. They've got a very weak case, and it's unfortunate to see at this point. It's just so long into the process, a year and a half after the announcement that the team was moving, that you just need to move along. You just need to move along. Focus your efforts somewhere else. Focus your efforts on your beautiful new A's stadium that you're going to be able to build. I guess. Because that seems to be the only really franchise you seem to care about. That's right, William. It is a global thing. I agree, Raymond. This has been something that they've had the opportunity to make right for a long time. Was it 95 when they came back? I mean, this isn't like 10 years ago. There's been several different city councils, several different mayor regimes. Several have come and failed repeatedly, over and over again. There's been many opportunities to get this done, and still, at the last hour, they're trying to shove freaking, these plans that are basically house of card plans through that are at the last hour trying to beat the relocation vote. And it was just like, if you didn't have something done by then, it's just, let it go, man. Let it go. It's unfortunate what's happening, but this is a unique situation. When you have a team like this who has set the precedent and has the history of, hey, you don't give us what we want, we'll pick our shit up and we'll find somebody who will give us what we want. It's we need another one. It's unfortunate. Like I said before, in our hearts of hearts, none of us wanted us to get here. But we're here. So let's embrace the future. Instead of digging up the past and holding on and, listen. It was already weird that we divorced and then remarried. That doesn't happen very often. A franchise leaving a city is basically a divorce. And the fact that said franchise comes back is like, wow. You married the ex? Like, how do you think it didn't work out the first time? How do you think it's gonna work out the second time? Well, guess what? It worked out about the same way as it did the first time. That's how it worked out. So, now we're leaving again. It's basically like a divorce. It's basically like a divorce. So it's not going to be clean. It's not going to be ugly. And it just is what it is. It's going to be messy. But you can't live in the past. You don't want to... You're divorcing. So, divorce. All right. It's happened. The divorce happened. March 27, 2017. It happened. Well, guess what, guys? You guys got a bunch of kids. They're called the Raider Nation. So you guys got to get along for a minute. And separate amicably. The one is leaving. It's already building a new house, you know, getting ready and moving. Making sure they're set up well for the kids. The other one, turning into that weird stalker. You know, it just won't go away. Keeps calling you and shit. The hell's on my hat? It's damn fuzzy on there. It's driving me nuts. You know, Oakland, don't be that weird stalker. Let it go. You don't want to be that. Just let it go. You creep around corners, calling me, you know, star 69 and shit. Let it go. Purple drink? Get out of here, Walrus. Oh, quit calling him, damn it. Hot Neil. So, it was an interesting topic, and I didn't want to I've got a lot I want to cover on the Raider Nation Report tomorrow night. Make sure you join me. Solid 60 minutes racing silver and black, as it is every Tuesday on the Raider Nation Report with yours truly. So I didn't want to get into all of this because there's a lot of actual football we need to talk about. So I didn't want to drag this shit into tomorrow's show. So I figured I'd have a show tonight to cover it. Now, right before I went live tonight, I put one post up. Now there happens to be a trailer that we put out, a page trailer advertising the page. And as most of you know who follow the page, we have a contest going on with our big badass Raider box that we're giving away at the first of the year on January 1st, 2019. Now, we've given you several ways over the past several weeks, and I'll be putting more stuff in the box tomorrow night on the show and giving you another way tomorrow night to get in. But I'm giving you a flash challenge way to get your name in the hat one more time. Get your name in the hat the first time, or you can get your name in the hat another time, depending on what situation you find yourself in. Right before I went live tonight on the page, I posted a trailer. You'll see the information about the contest right at the top in the description of the video. You share that trailer, you get your one spot entered in the contest. And we will send you a message from the page sometime within the next 24 hours confirming your spot in. And we're going to be posting a new spreadsheet so that everybody knows who's in and how many spots you got. So, after the show, go back to the post right before the show, grab that trailer, read the description, you'll see what to do. Just hit share. We'll go back in and check the shares tomorrow. And each one of you will get one entrance in the contest for each one of you that shares it out there. Help us paint the world silver and black, help us grow the audience, and help us spread the Raider Reaction name. Let's get us out there. Get us out there, because we want more of Raider Nation to join us on a nightly basis and after the games and what have you. Now we do got some fun stuff coming up for the off season. We got some different contests. We got a Raider Reaction Madden League that we're going to be kicking off as well. So make sure you stay tuned to the page, because we got some stuff coming up in the off season, and you know, to keep things interesting, because you know, y'all talk shit every time I stream myself playing Madden about how y'all can whoop my ass. So we're gonna fill up a league and see if y'all can get it done. That's what I'm saying, Johnny. We're finding dead mice and Coke machines and shit. I mean, people are pissing in troughs still. I know it's home. And even no matter how much of a piece of shit it is, it's your home. And don't let anybody talk about it, because it's yours. And I understand that we all love it. It's our home. It's where our team plays. But when you get to the new crib and you look back, God damn, that's a piece of shit. Yeah, it was. I know it was our piece of shit, but it is a piece of shit. Listen, man, the Oakland Raiders should not be playing on dirt. anymore ever again. Period. I hope this season was the last season I see him playing on dirt. I wouldn't mind seeing one more season in Oakland, because I think one more season gives me beast mode for one more year, because I believe beast mode comes back. And I've heard the same thing, Johnny. I've heard it gets rowdy when it rains there. I've been there during some bad rain, and it gets a little rowdy when it rains there. That's for damn sure. It is what it is. It's an outdated stadium. It's an outdated facility, and the Oakland Raiders are a team and a franchise and a brand that deserves their own. Period.
He shoots, he scores!
Period. We deserve our own. Should be no fucking sharing. Screw the A's. Fuck them. Fuck you, Billy Bean. I don't care about any other franchise. I only care about one. Call me selfish. Oh, Tana got... Man, you probably don't want to know what that is. Could have been anything. Ugh. You got to be pretty much prepared. It's almost like going to war at some games and some stadiums. I've been in a lot of road games, and it's a little bit like war. And I go prepared. I embrace it, because I'm kind of a sick and twisted individual. I usually prefer to buy my tickets. Everybody else is like, "Oh man, you gonna sit in the Raider section?" I'm like, nah. I'm buying my tickets off of some fucking season ticket holder, because I want to sit right surrounded by the opposing team. That's a whole lot more fun. That's where I'd rather be. I want to be that obnoxious fan that's sitting right in the middle of all the rest of the opposing team. That's where I usually like to go, because that's a whole lot more fun on the road. That's where I like to go. That's how I like it. So I just couldn't believe that over the last couple days I've seen all this shit bubble up again. That we had to even go back down this road to broach this subject again. That here we are once again. I heard lines. I heard that from everybody. As a consensus, said the Bengals fans were really accommodating and were very cool. And I have been to some stadiums where the fans are great, and I had a good time. And I've sat around others that it really comes down to the individuals you're around, honestly, because last year, not this season, but the last 2017 season at the Dolphins game, I heard horrible stories from some of the people that I was there with, but where we sat, we had the fans around us were great. They even said good game as they got up and walked off. I mean, it just depends, I guess. Where I had a horrible experience at the Browns Stadium with my 8-month pregnant wife, where it was in hindsight that was probably not our best move, but. As we lost, and before our asses even leave the seat, there were 70,000 people chanting "Raiders suck," and we had to deal with that. I could go on and on, but you have that. I'm excited about Vegas and to see how what was built in Oakland transfers over. The new black hole. How does that... Mauricio, thanks for stopping in, my man. Thank you. Appreciate it as always. Arrowhead is a war zone, James. It's one of the loudest stadiums there is. But how does the fan culture transfer over? Do you have an aspect of the black hole? Does that carry over to the new stadium? I'm very curious to see how that works out. I really am. I think that's going to be interesting. I think that's going to be interesting. But I believe we just need to move on and accept the future. I'm not a live in the past type guy. I'm really not. I burned bridges, and I don't give a shit because I don't plan on ever going back across that bridge. So I don't give a shit if I burned it. Doesn't matter to me. I'm always looking forward. I'm 3 moves ahead. I don't worry about the moves that happen behind me. Moves that happen behind me are history. I'm worried about the future. And I'm always looking towards the future and what's going on next. And it's exciting for me to see what's coming. To see the birth of something new. Do you realize we're about to be unveiled in 2020 as the new crown jewel of the NFL. They're going to post the Raiders. The draft is going to be silver and black. We're going to be put up on a pedestal for the nation for that whole off season. And then we're going to be unveiled. Hopefully, in the image of the team that Gruden wants, because obviously that is apparently what we're driving towards. And hopefully, that man knows what the hell he's doing. He had me convinced that we were moving in the right direction after that Steelers game, but this Bungles game, man, left a bad taste in my mouth. That is a game we really should have won. But I really want to win this donkey game this week. It's Monday Night Football. It's the last game probably in Oakland. The offer still stands for the seat. Anybody's going to the game. That's just one of those games that you gotta win for the fans. I know it doesn't matter. We've both already clinched the couch. Screw that. Who cares? This is a bragging rights type game. This is like, you just don't want to lose this game just because you don't want to lose this game to some ugly fucks that wear orange and blue. It's just the one we gotta win. It's the Donkeys. It's at home. The last game in Oaktown. This is just one we gotta get. It really is. And I hope the team understands that. I'm sure that will be the mantra of the coaching staff and Gruden as they push them towards this final game before they head on the road to Kansas City, to Arrowhead. Although the weather has actually been fairly nice up there as of late, and hopefully that carries over. Hopefully that carries over. But like I said, make sure you join me tomorrow. We got the Raider Nation report, solid 60 minutes of everything silver and black with yours truly. As we will get into everything. We'll touch on the stuff from the Bengals. Won't get into that as a lot as I touched on a lot of it in the post-game reaction. But we will touch on that. We'll touch on everything going forward. All of the news about everything. Getting ready for the Donkey game on Monday night. It was all of this talk about this lawsuit nonsense, and we needed to get it out of the way. And I just wanted to sit down with you guys and have kind of a candid conversation about it. And I appreciate each and every one of you who stopped in with me, joined me tonight. Now, make sure, right before the show, I posted a challenge on the page with a video attached to it. If you share that trailer, just like it says in the description, you will get one entry into the contest to win the Big Badass Raider box in our Paint the World Silver and Black contest, drawing on January 1st. All you got to do is go share that post. Share that video out there, share it to your personal page, share it to a Raider group, share it to a sports group, just share it around. Put it out there for us. Help us paint the world silver and black. One share gets you one entry. Some of you have already got an entry. If you go like up all 4 of our social media platforms and send the screenshot to the page, all that info is on our pinned post at the top of the page. You send us all those screenshots, you get another entry in. If you leave a positive review or recommendation on the page, send us a screenshot to the page of that. We'll give you another entry into the contest. We've got a ton of ways for you to get your name in the hat a bunch of times. Sebastian's already got his name in the hat 15 times for winning one flash challenge. Michael also already has his name in the hat 7 times. You too can get your name in the hat. Everybody should have their name in the hat at least once. Because when it comes around the 1st and we're drawn for this baby that we've been putting stuff in every Raider Nation report, I want everybody to have a chance to win it that stops in with us. Every one of you. Should at least have your name in there once. Because you already liked the page, you wouldn't be watching. So, like up the other 3 platforms as well. Just send us a screenshot. It takes you 30 seconds. Bam, you got an entry. Go leave a positive review, recommendation. Bam, there's a second entry. Then jump off, go share that post. Bam, there's 3 entries. You get your name in the hat 3 times. And we're going to show you tomorrow everything that's already in this badass box. And we're going to put more silver and black swag in it tomorrow. I've got some extra little goodies to go in there. Every Tuesday we put more stuff in the box. And give you more ways to get your name in the hat to win. Along with flash challenges throughout the week. So, as always, I appreciate you guys stopping in, joining me. As always, remember, tomorrow night, same Raider time, same Raider channel for the Raider Nation Report. And then Prime's back in the house Wednesday. As it's getting down to crunch time, as we're only 10 games apart, which one of us is going to have to embarrass himself in some horrible manner? It's looking like me, but I'm closing that gap. I only got a couple weeks left. So make sure you join me tomorrow. I'm out. Thank you, each and every one of you. I always appreciate new and old, our band of pirates, those of you that stopped in. I'm going to post a spreadsheet tomorrow, Willie, of all the folks that already got their name in there and how many times. That way, if you got a discrepancy, you can send me some screenshots and take care. I have an updated spreadsheet of the contest. I'm going to be posting it tomorrow. So, make sure you be checking the page. I will see you tomorrow night. Same Raider time, same Raider channel. I'm out. Peace, love, Raider Nation!